Why do people think the keto diet is so unhealthy? I eat so much higher quality foods than before I went keto. I've replaced processed carbs with vegetables. Don't eat packaged snacks. And actually have to cook my own meals and not eat out. Compared to the standard American diet, keto is so much healthier. People are crazy to think otherwise. It's like they're brainwashed by sugar and carbs. Edit damn. Didn't expect all the responses. Some pretty good arguments made here, but keto is still healthier than the current food pyramid. I agree that there are unhealthy ways to go about keto, but when focused on whole foods it's hard to argue against the health benefits. It's like they're brainwashed by sugar and carbs. They largely were. The food industry has been pumping out anti-fat, pro-sugar propaganda for decades. Eat a hamburger and it's quiet. Remove the bun and everybody loses their mind. People just think we eat bacon and cheese all day. You know the old saying, if you eating junk food every day nobody says anything. But as soon as you try to cut carbs, sugars and processed foods, people say you're on an unhealthy, unsustainable diet. If you say you're eating mainly meat, they say it's unhealthy. Meanwhile, those same people are overweight with diabetes or pre-diabetes. Who cares what they think? From my experience, regular people who know they could never pull it off themselves are the ones that are convinced it's unhealthy and going to kill me. My nurse practitioner is fine with it. I personally haven't encountered any medical professional that was against it. I have, however, read articles online by medical professionals who don't approve of keto. What I've found interesting is that the nutritionists who absolutely slander and hate keto are typically the ones who sell high-carb diet plans and high-carb cookbooks. These people have a monetary incentive to turn people away from keto. Indoctrination. In the 80s and 90s, fat was the enemy. So anything that goes against that is bad. As I have said here many times, when you eat grilled salmon and white rice and roast broccoli with some strawberries for dessert, people compliment you on your healthy diet. When you eat grilled salmon and roast broccoli with some strawberries for dessert, they say you're going to die of malnutrition. I gave up listening to them. Orthodox dietary advice is largely beholden to corporate interests. Corporate interests make money for ultra-processed food made from ingredients that are cheap to acquire. This is largely grains and sugar. They can afford to find nutritional research that supports their interests. Those same dietary experts will say keto is two-fisting bacon and butter and nothing else. I apply the first and most important role of keto: do not talk about the diet. There's a lot of people that have gone to school and got taught that it's the same as ketoacidosis, from diabetes or dying of cancer. One kid I talked to going for sports medicine to be a trainer at other schools was taught this in a class. Lol. I tried explaining to him that nutritional ketosis was not the same thing by a long shot, but there was no undoing it. Lol. It's like they're brainwashed by sugar and carbs. The sad truth is they have been brainwashed. Next time you look at a supermarket sales circular, notice how often the processed crap they sell outnumbers the unprocessed food. How many commercials for fast food, junk food they have as opposed to commercials for fresh food, not the boxed kits they don't have. Fat fear. Big Sugar did a number on the West. Obesity and type 2 diabetes are carbohydrate substance abuse related diseases. They're pretty much brainwashed by the World Health Organization and all the other bullshit dietitians and doctors spew to make their pockets fatter. Sorry, Karen. You can't convince me that steak is more dangerous than your 1,000 calorie caramel frappe. Sugar is only good for food manufacturers and doctors who want to profit off their patients. Lol. Hungry, fat and always needing to buy? Perfect for business. Because this diet, like any other, is about calorie deficiency and moderation. It's not magic. I think people trying it or heard about it have a misconception of what it is. I had a friend who was very overweight, 350 pounds, and wanted to make a change. But he basically ate an enormous amount of bacon, cheese, and ground beef. He ended up having to stop because he wasn't losing weight and was struggling to walk up the stairs. His wife was freaking out. So what does the wife tell all her friends? Keto nearly killed my husband. It's all junk made up. Science. I can sort of see both sides. My friend could have done more to educate himself. Some people refuse to hear the difference between ketosis and ketoacidosis. Or the government. People follow the FDA food pyramid when it should be turned upside down, doing exactly the opposite of what they recommend. I wish I would have realized that earlier in life. I think the majority of the panel who comes up with that recommendation are vegetarian, vegan. So their personal opinions affect their decisions. Meat is bad, immoral in their minds. Realize that doctors, dietitians, and any kind of supposed food specialist have been educated by the people that are making profits from killing us with their products. They are sure they know what's good, but they don't. The only type of doctor I've found that seem to know what's going on is a few cardiologists I've met. They agreed that inflammation is the enemy, and that's frequently caused by wheat and other products found in carb-rich stuff. Keto removes most of that and improves inflammation in the joints and arteries near the heart. I don't bother talking to these miseducated people. They mean well but can't help you. I personally am not convinced that it is the healthiest way to eat. But I am convinced that obesity is extremely dangerous for your health, and if keto is the only diet that has been able to work for you to get to a better weight, then the benefits definitely outweigh the risks. Also, I don't think every diet is good for everyone. I think everyone is slightly different. There's a lot of people that have gone to school and got taught that it's the same as ketoacidosis, from diabetes or dying of cancer. One kid I talked to going for sports medicine to be a trainer at other schools was taught this in a class. Lol. I tried explaining to him that nutritional ketosis was not the same thing by a long shot, but there was no undoing it. Lol. Fear of the unknown. Don't chase the birds. Whenever I was deep into keto, my body and brain was firing on all cylinders. It's the single healthiest diet, emo. Because it might actually correct a lot of health issues facing so many people today. That's a big no-no. More sickness, more medicine, more money. To be fair, just look at how many people on this subreddit ask the most absurd questions. Like, I put lemon in my water, is that enough electrolytes? So people get wrecked by keto flu. Or think it's a free pass to eat absurd amounts of fat. Or handle fasting the wrong way. And they continue to make unhealthy choices through ignorance. The rest is just people hearing about my cousin went on keto and felt awful, or I saw a video talking about how keto is a dangerous trend, etc. A mix of misinformation and ignorance. Probably due to the higher fat consumption. People think their beliefs are grounded in logic, science, rationality. But really, beliefs come from desire. I want to believe keto is unhealthy, so I seek out sources that give me an excuse to eat delicious, addictive carbs. I want to believe porn is healthy, so I seek out sources. The list goes on and on.